Are you a cup half empty or half full kind of person? That's the question when you talk about the weather these days.
Definitely quieter winds, definitely quieter weather in general.
Yeah, we had record highs in Seattle and Portland today, so that's some amazing stuff, which is why we call it a pineapple express. You can almost smell the coconuts. I just don't want any tornadoes.
Yeah, you got that right.
Boy, I'm clicking my heels together. There's no place like home. From flood warnings to winter storm warnings, I'm earning my minimum wage tonight, I'll tell you that much. You will see a few breezy conditions throughout the afternoon, but again, we're looking at basically liquid sunshine as opposed to frozen sunshine. Well, the good news is that the Stillaguamish has now gone out of the flood warning stage.
Now, let's talk about our day for Wednesday.
Whew. The Stillaguamish really is the big stickler right now. We have got record flooding happening on the Stillaguamish. No, I was Googling the word cubit a little bit earlier, trying to figure out how to get the arc together. Well, we do still have some rain coming our way. Don't expect it to have a big effect on our flooding because now the freezing levels are going to be falling dramatically. So we're going to be starting to switch over towards snow. Still have some flood warnings out there. As you can see, Snoqualmie, Chehalis, Nooksack, Skagit, Snohomish, and Skokomish rivers. And as you see right in the far right of your screen, the Coeur d'Alene River has gone into flood warning now. So we still have some threats out there. The good news is things will be dying down as we head into tomorrow afternoon. As we showed, Snoqualmie Pass bare and wet at this hour, but that will be switching to snow as this cold front moves in. And that is going to turn us into some pretty significant accumulations. As you can see, over a foot possible around the Cascades of Washington. And we have the lower portions of the Cascades in Washington under a winter storm warning now, but most of the winter storm warnings we're looking at are in the Cascades of Oregon. Could see 1 to 2 feet in the northern Cascades of Oregon, around a foot in the southern Cascades. All right, let's talk a little bit about what's going on. We've got that center of rotation continuing, just off our coast, and that is bringing out some cold air. It was about, sub-zero temperatures around Anchorage, pushing it down across, bringing in a cold front right into our area. So obviously on the other side of that, much chillier temperatures, and then we throw snow on top of that for the mountains. So it's going to be an interesting couple of days. We've gone from record highs for Seattle and Portland to now going to be seeing much, much cooler temperatures in our area. So expect to see some breezes with this. That cold air is much more dense, so it's going to tend to slide underneath that warm air, create some instability. Certainly a possibility for the Puget Sound area, much of the Portland area, especially around the coast. We could see some lightning. Yeah, believe it or not. So low 40s around Puget Sound, some upper 40s around the coast. But again, this is where we see the chance for the most instability in the atmosphere. So we could definitely see some lightning strikes coming as early as tonight into tomorrow. Portland might just get a few as well. Breezy conditions by Portland standards. We're talking about possibly some 20-mile-an-hour winds, maybe even up to 25 miles an hour. Temperatures, though, into the mid-40s, going to continue to cool down as we roll further into the week. Out along the coast, Oregon coast also looking at some instability in the atmosphere, so expect to see some lightning, some breezes pushing into eastern Oregon as you continue throughout the day. That will be the case throughout the afternoon. We will see some rain and snow northeastern Oregon and around the foothills of the Cascades on the east side, on the lee side. That'll be the case also around the eastern Washington. Some rain and snow for Spokane, becoming snow for Omak, and then the further south you go, the more you're going to get into some liquid sunshine. So it's going to be a very interesting day out to the west. I'll be back with the 5-day forecast in just a second.
Scott, it is not often we see a tornado in Oregon. It's really something.
Absolutely. And boy, and 50% of the tornadoes that we have seen in the area are EF0s. This was an EF2, so a very significant event pulling through Oregon. We are not completely out of the woods. We still have some pretty strong winds and rain, especially around Oregon right now. Now, obviously, there are some rules that everybody knows. You want to get into lower ground and such, but take a look at bullet point number 3. Oregon ranks 48th in the total amount of tornadoes, and there have been tornadoes reported in all 50 states. What happened is we had this cold air come in. It was aloft. It's denser than the warm air, so it's trying to get underneath it. Then you get some little bit of atmospheric warming with the sunshine. Some of those sun breaks started to cause some instability. You get the low circulating along with it. So then suddenly we had a lot of lifting air. We added some vorticity to the mix, and then we spun off a tornado. We still, as I said, have some instability in the area. Still expect to see some strong rain bands. and some winds and some mountain snows we're going to talk about in just a few minutes.
Scott Elnes in the First Alert Weather Center. Scott, I had to take out my scraper again this morning. There's still some ice and frost on my windshield. When are we going to see some warmer temps?
Well, first of all, it's a good thing you had a scraper. It could have been a credit card or whatever else. But, well, the thing is, we are going to see some warming up coming up around Wednesday. But what comes with that? Showers. Yeah, so it's a dry cold right now. That's what we're dealing with. The nice thing is that this is nice, cool, calm weather for us. In fact, right now, if you take a look at the camera out around Portland, things look good overnight. It has been a quiet night around the Rose City. Gorgeous conditions outside for basically the entirety. But take a look. We broke some lows, record lows yesterday, 24 for Seattle, but Burns at 25 below. Does that sound cold? Well, it should, but compare it to what's happening in Point Lay, Alaska today. Wind chills could get to 55 below, a wind chill advisory in place for Point Lay. That's about 160 miles to the southwest of Barrow. Actually been there before. Some clear conditions out along the passes, Snoqualmie Pass, bare and wet, but watch out for some, or not wet, I should say, watch out for some flurries and some drifting snow. So while there's no restrictions on the passes as of now, it's not going to be a fun time out there if you hit any of that drifting snow. What we've got going on, 2 areas of low pressure sitting off, one well up to our north, the other one right in our area. So here's the one well up to the north, here's the one right down in our area. Good news is we've also got some high pressure in it that's bringing in some sunny skies. Not a strong pressure gradient between these two, so we're not looking at gigantic winds for the most part. Now, high pressure leads to sunny skies, but around this time of year, it also leads to burr around here. So expect to continue to see the sunshine in place until we can work out this other system. It's going to be a nice, gorgeous set of days for us, but you're going to want to bundle up maybe just a little bit more than you usually do. So look for some temperatures. I'd bump these up by a couple of degrees, maybe mid to upper 30s for much of the Puget Sound region. Lots of sunny skies. Soak it up, get that sunscreen out. Nice dry conditions expected over the next couple of days. We are going to see a few breezes out to the coast and warm things up a little bit the further west you go. On times like this, you've got the temperature inversions and such. Expect to see some areas of fog. I don't expect to see any seriously dense fog, but you might just want to pay a little bit extra attention. Mid-30s into the Rose City today, upper 30s into Aurora. More sunshine, as I said, on tap for much of the area. Now, you get out to the western coast of Oregon. You saw that little band of low pressure that was bringing in some moisture. So look for some moist conditions and breezy towards the coast, and then some chances for rain and snow around Medford, around Eugene today. A wintry mix, as we call it. Eastern Washington, Klamath Falls could see some snow showers, but otherwise sunny skies with some teens, some low 20s expected into Ontario. Then you get into Eastern Washington, Spokane. You got a chance for a little bit of a flurry throughout much of the beginning portions of today and cool temperatures, but really expecting to see some nice sunny conditions pretty much across the board for Eastern Washington, though teens only for the daytime highs, some low 21 or low 20s as you get down towards Hermiston. Now, for the 5-day forecast, Spokane, again, looking for some nice sunny skies. Low 20s expected for your daytime highs, but single digits overnight. Then, for Boise, take a look. Here we go. Going to see some low 20s expected for your daytime highs. Warming up, though, towards the freezing mark throughout Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Then we're going to see some nice conditions for Portland. Mid-30s going into the mid-40s as we head towards Wednesday, but that bumps up the chance of showers. Similar conditions for Seattle. Some warming temperatures coming away. Lots of sunshine. But again, Teresa, right around Wednesday, we're going to pay that price with some upper 40s and a chance of showers. So it's one thing or another.